The brief sets out a theological side to the concept. It sets out a creative side to the work, but it also is about a young, vibrant person who was here one day and not here the next. And that is a very, very strong story. And it's a story that runs like a thread through my designs necessarily. The designs are about the journey of learning, because the window is there to form a link between Durham Cathedral and Durham University. But there is not a day I work on this piece of work that I don't think about Sara. When I'm working on the glass, I'm actually creating the design and the composition from hand-applied colour. And this frees me up in a way that you can't work when you're working with a leaded design. The leaded design is very much a confined structure, and it's also the most wonderful thing about stained glass, that those rules and that confined structure. Well, the window that I'm making is not a confined piece, it's an intuitive piece of art. There is a very spiritual side to what is happening, and I think when you make a piece of work with your own hands, that cannot but help be passed through your hands into the materials. At the very first stages, one of the traditional techniques that I used is acid etching. And acid etching, although it's a traditional technique, can actually be used in a very contemporary way. It's a beautiful process, but it's a process that's worked in reverse. So you are starting with a solid layer of colour, and as you work with the acid, you're taking that colour away. It's very direct. Once the colour is gone, it's gone. So you cannot go back and recreate it. It has to be, you know, a complete one-off. And I have actually worked in a very sort of amorphous, free way with the acid. So I am almost painting with it. And this effect right at the beginning really, really sets the whole tone for the window. In terms of designing for architectural glass, traditionally, the working drawing, that's the full-size drawing, is called cartoon. We borrowed a church that was big enough with a gallery that we could actually lay out the whole of the cartoon for the window. And I was very pleased to receive a group from Durham as well as the Pilkingtons. And they then actually saw the window that would really actually be made, not just the scale design, and that was really quite some moment. I want the work that I make to reflect and be integral to the architecture it bonds with. This is very important to me. So I've worked very hard within my composition and my massing within the design and the scale of the various elements in the design to try and draw the architecture and the glasswork together. What I didn't want to do was make a piece of very contemporary work that would just not chime and respond to this absolutely incredible building.